it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making a 6-ingredient no-bake cheesecake that is quick, easy, and I hope it turns out right because I have never made it before. And yeah, so let me bring you along for the ride. It's got a few ingredients, it's really cheap to make, and we'll see how it turns out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our biscuit base. Here are 125 grams of milk arrowroot biscuits that I just crushed by using a rolling pin on the bag. So basically this is all I did. I just put all the biscuits into this bag and just crushed them like that. Really simple, really easy. I didn't have to get any kind of machine out, so that's perfect. This is only 2 ingredients, so I'm going to pour my biscuits right into my bowl. You'll notice it's not a fine crumb, there's still some texture in there. That's what you want. I wouldn't make it too fine. Okay, now what I've got is 1/4 cup of melted butter, and I'm just going to add that straight to my biscuits. The butter that I'm using is actually the butter that is homemade, so if you're wanting to know how to make your own homemade butter at home, yeah, if you want to know how to make your own homemade butter, check out the Eye in the Sky. I've put a link up there to that video. Alright, so now we're just going to get all of our biscuits nicely coated in that butter. You don't want too much butter. You just want the biscuits to be coated in butter so that they'll make a nice crumbly crust. I've never really been a fan of crusts that have so much butter that they're so dense and so solidified that you can barely cut into them. So you'll notice there's just enough butter there to coat all of my biscuits nicely. If it's a little bit too dry, just go ahead and melt some more butter, pour it in there, but this is perfect. So here I have a cake tin that I've lined with some Glad wrap. Because this is a no-bake cheesecake, we don't need to worry about putting it in the oven. The reason that I'm adding the Glad wrap is so that I can take it out. If you want to cut it right in the tin, skip this step. So you want to try and make the base as even as possible, so I'm going to just spread it out a little bit. And then I'm going to use something round to actually compact it all in together. Now it may seem to you like it's a little bit crumbly. Don't worry about that, it'll solidify when we put it in the fridge. So that's the next step. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge and we're going to get started on the filling. I have 250 grams of cream cheese that is at room temperature in my bowl, and I want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. You want to start off with this at room temperature, otherwise you're going to have lumps of cream cheese in there and you won't be able to get them out. It's up to you whether you want to do this bit with a hand mixer. I'm going to do it by hand because I can't be bothered getting something else out of my cupboard for it to get dirty and I have to clean, so we're going to go with this. So what I've got here is a 395 gram can of sweetened condensed milk. So as I said in one of my Instagram posts the other day, I try and buy home brand as much as I can. As long as the quality of the product is there, then I'm happy to buy the home brand version. Today, I actually used the name brand cream cheese, and that is because for no other reason than the name brand was 250 grams and the home brand was 225 grams. So I would have had to buy 2 packets in order to get enough cream cheese to make this cheesecake. So what you're going to do is you're going to give this a really good mix. I'm going to swap to a whisk. So hopefully I get all of those lumps out. There we go. So using that whisk got most of the lumps out. There are a few tiny ones, but I'm not going to worry about those. It is pretty smooth. So the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to use half a cup of lemon juice. I am using store-bought lemon juice today from a bottle because I didn't have any lemons on hand. If you have lemons on hand, go ahead and use the real stuff. It'll give you a way better cheesecake. You'll notice when you pour the lemon juice that the acidity in the lemon juice starts to thicken the cheesecake batter almost instantly. And it becomes much more pudding-like. So there we go, that is our cheesecake batter made. I'm gonna go and get our crust out of the fridge and we're gonna pour it in there and we're gonna leave it in there until our cheesecake is set firm. So I'm going to say overnight is probably best, minimum 3 to 4 hours. So here we've got our cheesecake crust. So I'm just going to bounce that around to flatten it out. And this is going to go into the fridge. Like I said, I'm going to keep it in there overnight until it's firm. You want it chilled and firm, and then you can enjoy. So I'm very impatient. So it's probably been about 3 hours since I made this cheesecake, and I really wanted to try it because, as I said, it's the first time that I've made it. It's thick enough and set up enough for me to be able to slice it, which is great. You probably do want to keep it overnight though to just make it really nice and solid. I'm going to cut myself a slice and I'm going to give it a try and see what it tastes like. Okay, so here we have it, a really nice slice of lemon cheesecake. I hope you try it, I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think. That is really, really nice. The only thing that I would say, which is what I said when we were making it, is if you have real lemon, use real lemon. But other than that, it's fantastic. So let me know what you think down in the comments in the description box, and I'll see you next time. Bye.